Hey y'all, what's up? JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, I am back for more talk about Xscape, but specifically LaTocha Scott's husband, Mr. Rocky, okay? Because I did get a chance to go over to Tasha K's website, and I did listen to the call interview that she had with one of the alleged mistresses, okay? Now, what I learned while listening to this call was that this young lady only had conversations via phone and text messages with Rocky, okay? She's never met him in person. They've never crossed the line sexually, and this is all alleged and according to what the mistress told Tasha K, okay? So I don't necessarily think she's a mistress. I wouldn't necessarily label her as a mistress, but I'll label her as his little friend. You feel what I'm saying? His little thing kind of on the side, all right? Because he was trying to make her something, but the girl wasn't interested in really being anything. It seems like she was more so interested to see what it is she could possibly get out of him, right? Because he tried to play himself out like he was that dude, like he was that guy, like he got it like that, right? So because they did not actually meet in person like Dixon did with the young lady that came from Canada, for those people that watch Real Housewives of Potomac, Dixon had some woman come from out of Canada over into his area, and he actually got a hotel for her in his name and actually went over to see her, okay? And they had been in communications for like a year or so. So that's a whole nother story, okay? But it's not necessarily the same, okay? So the woman says that they have not met in person, but they met when it was around like 2016, somewhere in that time. She says that he wanted her to join his wife Tasha's fit clothing line. I guess Tasha was coming out with some type of clothing line, and he wanted her to be a part of it, okay? She says that they kept in touch over the years, and he was trying to get her to move to Atlanta. And this was really recent when he was trying to get her to move to Atlanta. She says he was trying to get her to move to Atlanta as recent as last year and told her he would help her with everything, all right? But she had to live in specific areas so that if he needed to get access to her, it'll be easy for him, okay? So it's given somewhere in South Georgia, like the Stockbridge area and all down there. That's what the young lady was trying to say. She wanted to live in the Midtown area, but he was like, if I help you get this spot, you're going to have to kind of live where it is that I want you to live, okay? Which is interesting because from my understanding, Unique doesn't live too far from him, from what I understood, but he also tried to say and make it seem like the girl moved closer to him because she's crazy. It's so funny. A lot of times when dudes step out on their women and they do the things that they do, they like to label the women as crazy. It's like, no, baby, you're crazy, but let's keep going. So at one point during their phone meetups, she asked him about being in an open marriage with Tasha. And he said, no, we're not in an open marriage, but we do have an understanding. Then she says somehow they got on the conversation of Kandi Burruss or something like that. She mentioned when they were talking about Kandi, he said something about Kandi being jealous because they dated or something like that back in the day. He used to date Kandi or whatever, right? So that's what he says. And this is where that rumor came from, okay? When I was watching Speak on it, and Kandi had to make sure at the very end of the video that she clear up any matters about her dating Rocky, she says, no, that's never been a thing. Whatever y'all talking about, y'all need to dead that because I ain't never date that man in my mother life, okay? And no, we did not fuck either, okay? Let's be very clear. That's what Miss Kandi said. So now we know where the rumor came from. It came from this young lady that lives out of Birmingham, Alabama, that Tasha K was on the phone with, and this young lady says that he brought up Kandi and that they had a relationship at some point, okay? So she also goes on to talk about how he would brag on the phone, okay? He would brag about all of the things that he has, all of the stuff that he has done for other people, how he's helped out other women get homes over here, get houses over there, whatever the case, okay? He would just brag like he was the big man on campus, like he got it like that, okay? This is just what Miss Ma'am said. She says, what's so funny is that, he bragged about all of the stuff that he had, but whenever I needed him for something, he never came through. Yikes. And why were you continuing to talk on the phone to this motherfucker? I'm a little confused, ma'am. If he never came through and you've been communicating with this man since 2016, 2023, okay, or we'll just say 2022, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, girl, that's given about 7 years. And you've been in communication with this man and he hasn't come through with you. Why are we still talking to him? It's giving at some point you believed all of the hype that he was putting out there. As she did admit to the fact that he would manipulate her at times, okay? She was being manipulated according to her. So, and because of the fact that he was LaTocha Scott's husband, right? Maybe you felt like it, maybe it is a little bit of truth to what he's saying. But girl, if he ain't showing you nothing, girl, after I don't know how long, I don't know why y'all just sat up there and continue to go along with the go along. And Miss Unique, I don't even know how you got so far as to sit up there and have a whole relationship with this man and get pregnant by this man, according to you. Okay? Girl, I don't know how you got it. I guess that you was getting a little bit more than the lady out there in Birmingham, honey. You was getting flew the hell out to different places. So, child, I guess, honey. Now, the lady that was on the phone with Tasha K did admit to, liking women as well, right? And I guess he tried to, at some point on the call, show his love and support for lesbians and all of this other stuff. But I felt like right out the gate, ma'am, are you even interested in him anyway? You know what I'm saying? He probably not your type, number one. And number two, really, really not your type, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so it was really that you was on the phone with that lady husband trying to see what you could really get out of him. And unfortunately, you got nothing but phone conversation and text messages and some DICK pics as you sent pics over to him as well. Okay, according to her. But let's keep going. She says that she has never had a relationship with him because she would never entertain someone's husband. Ma'am, what? You what? Girl, you've been entertaining somebody's husband since 2016. Just because you have not crossed the lines of engaging in whatever doesn't mean that you wasn't entertaining somebody else's husband. What do y'all be talking about? Anywho, she says he started making sexual advances towards her on the phone, and she really wasn't feeling it. You wasn't feeling that because that's not your type, and that's really not your type. Okay, that's why you wasn't feeling that. And I ain't mad at her, girl. I'm just calling it out as I read it. Okay, so she does admit that he did change his number after that Soul Train incident took place. When the Soul Train incident happened with Xscape, Unique coming out saying whatever it is that she had to say about the baby and all of that stuff, that's when he changed his number. She said that he ended up calling her from a new number, and I believe that was around November, December-ish. Somewhere after that, somewhere up in that time was when, she ended up talking to him. She says that when he would get on the phone with her, he would talk extremely bad about Unique. Okay. She says he would talk about her like a dog in so many words. All right. And that sounds about right. I believe that most men that do be out here cheating, they have to make the women that they're with seem so bad. Yet you look so dumb because you're still in a relationship with the person. Okay. But they have to make the women seem so bad. And then when a mistress come out and say whatever she say, they got to try to drag her too. That's just the thing that men do. I don't understand. And maybe that's just the thing that people do. They like to down talk another person to somebody else to make that, I guess, to hype that person up that you're talking to. That doesn't work for everybody, but I guess it works for some. But go ahead, do your thing. You've been doing it anyway because that's just how you is, all right? So anywho, she says that he used to talk a lot of mess about Unique. She also told Tasha K that he had people watching Unique, had people watching her page. He knew every time she went live, all of that. So this is according to what Rocky was telling her, okay, and what the young lady told Tasha K. She also said that he had people hitting Unique up in the DMs and all of this other stuff, sending her threats and everything. But ultimately, Miss Girl said she really think that it was Rocky doing that. Girl, Unique also thought it was Rocky doing that too. So that's just where they at with it, okay? That sounds like his MO. All right. She also goes on to say that he manipulated her into sending photos of herself to him. Like risque photos over there to him, okay? And I do believe that he sent her some as well, okay? She says in order to get any money out of him or try to get movement on getting an apartment and stuff like that, he manipulated me into sending him things. And I'm like, okay, how long did that occur? How long were you sending him photos and stuff like that? Because at some point the book should have stopped if you talking to him since 2016. Maybe you sent those photos back in 2016, and then after that you just stopped all of that and just probably maintained the phone conversations just because you wanted to or whatever, but for it to never go any further. Because I'm just like, how many times did he manipulate you into sending this if you also said that he never came through on anything that you asked? You sending photos, but he ain't giving you nothing on the back end. I'm a little confused. How long were you sitting around doing some shit like that? Oh, no, ma'am. But I'm just wondering, girl, I ain't blaming you for nothing. I'm just asking questions and trying to get in y'all psyche and see what y'all be thinking, because, girl, I could see this man coming from a mile away. But again, everybody ain't like me. So, good luck. Let's keep going. Because it wasn't even a whole lot to this interview, y'all. For real, for real. It wasn't, okay? She says that his whole vibe was giving cult. Now, that was something, because she says that he has a lot of female workers. He said, like, like employee, people he employ. He works with a lot of women. He says that he has a lot of women, like also has a lot of women that I guess he kick it with. He got girl on girl action and all of this. And this is all according to what the mistress was saying. She says that his vibe was really giving like R. Kelly vibe. She said that with him having a lot of women that work for him, he don't like those women to have boyfriends because it can complicate a lot of things. Okay, this what the mistress saying, girl. Okay, it's all alleged. Now she says he doesn't like his wife because he talks about her too. Again, when a man trying to big himself up to somebody else and hype that woman up too, he got to downplay the others. Yikes, hate to see it. Talks about her physically. She says that he would say that she don't really have no sex appeal and all of that. All right. Then she says that Tasha has an understanding according to him. They don't have an open marriage, but she does have an understanding and knows everything that he does. And I believe that, because I do believe this interview was recorded prior to Tasha going live and doing her, Tasha Scott going live and admitting and saying she knows everything, right? And that was her nail in her coffin for even saying something like that. So when she said that she knows everything, and for this young lady to say that to Tasha K, it's giving, yeah, sounds about right. Okay. Now, as far as the understanding, Tasha should have just said me and Rocky have an understanding versus saying we have an open relationship and I know everything. But girl, do whatever it is that y'all gonna do. All right. But in all honesty, y'all, like I listened to the interview. That's really all that was to the interview for real. It was a voice call. You didn't see the young lady. Tasha asked the woman if she wanted to come forward. The girl said no, she's not ready for all of that, but she did want to tell Tasha her side of the story. She also sent Tasha over some receipts. Tasha, from my understanding, put it on her wall, but it seems like those receipts were not factual or whatever. Because, well, she said she was going to put the receipts up, but I don't really recall seeing the receipts. I saw receipts from another woman that came out. And the woman that came out, Tasha felt like those receipts were a bit sketchy. She posted those receipts and said, these are the fake receipts. And she was like, what do y'all think? Do y'all believe that this is real? Because the girl was saying that the other girl was like, oh, yeah, I used to talk to Rocky, too. And, he got me an apartment. And here's the lease with the signatures and all of this and that and da, 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 da. But she wasn't really coming with any harder evidence or screenshots of like certain images or text messages or phone numbers or things like that as unique. And this other lady from Birmingham did. Okay. So that's why she wasn't really believing what this young lady had to say. But, yeah, y'all, quite a few of y'all asked me to talk about the mistress thing. So that is the reason that we are discussing it now. But yeah, it wasn't a whole lot to it. I think that Unique really gave us every and all that we needed to know that he be out here in these streets and he be playing on Miss Tasha's top while he playing with somebody else's top. Okay. So, that's just where we at with that. Tasha, I don't know how much longer it's going to take for you to see that you might need to separate yourself from that person. I feel like you're going to stay married to him because you did say in your video, I take my vows very, very seriously. I think it's silly for you to take them seriously and his ass to not to. I'm just letting you know. No, ma'am, scoot back up off me, girl. I'm just telling you what it is that I think. Okay. But I will say this, if you're going to stick beside him, because that's just how you is, you need to figure out how you finna move him out of the space of being your manager and find you a new one that's going to have your back, because he got you out here looking a fool as a husband and as a business person. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, girl, you're looking dumb. Okay. And it's really tainting your image. So it's just real funny. You sit up here doing these IG videos talking about, oh, he had my back when I was down, and now, ain't nobody look out for me but him, and whoop the whoop the whoop and all this other stuff. But then when you talk about your previously solo career, you want to blame Miss Kandi Burruss as to why that did not come out. And we've listened to Jermaine Dupri say on more than one occasion, then 5 years ago and now, that Kandi had nothing to do with that. All right. So now when we look at your career and where you are today, are you going to blame Rocky? Is he going to take any blame? We know that you don't like to take accountability, but are you going to force him to try and take some at all because he got you out here looking a fucking fool? In my personal opinion. Okay. That's just a personal for me. So I'm just wondering, when are you going to stop dishing it out on everybody else and, looking to the right and left of you and likely in front of you and seeing who the problem really is? Because the girl, this right here is some shit. Girl, girl, I don't know what else to say. Okay, y'all done gave us a whole lot of things to dissect and discuss and talk about for a very long periodically time these past few weeks, ma'am. Okay, y'all need to get this together. Girl, find you another manager and likely find you another husband by the end of this year, but we know you're not going to do that. So just find you another manager, okay? Since your mama want to be the fifth member, let your mama be your manager, okay? So either way, good luck. That's all that I got. Y'all go ahead and hop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts about all of this. I'm JamiThatsMe, okay? Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JamiThatsMe. Be sure to subscribe to the page and leave your thoughts down below. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.